Well, I think you have to be very selective. I think if you look at technology, if you are invested in the right companies, you tend to make a lot of money. So you have to basically look at the sectors that basically are going to be driving the technology sector. It's not going to be an across the board. Even though the indices are showing that it's hitting new highs, when you look at the broad section, there are many sectors within the subsectors within technology that are showing a lot of weakness. So we have been very careful in terms of trying to find companies that have got very strong leadership positions and staying away from companies that maybe showing signs of a slowdown. It's a relative slowdown. It's a growth slowdown. And I think investors need to kind of decipher those two.
What do you take away from Apple market cap surpassing $1 trillion? Is that a symbolic milestone in your opinion, or is that sign of a peak?
Well, most people say that, when you get some kind of major milestones, it might be a kind of a defining, point at the stage of that market. To me, I think it's just a question of valuation. It's a value stock. It's a great company. It's got lots of cash. So, $1 trillion is just a number to me. Many other companies have done that before. I mean, we had a few Chinese companies that hit $1 trillion before, and then they kind of pull back. So, to me, you might get a few more $1 trillion companies in the US, but don't forget $1 trillion isn't what it used to be in the, in the past.
And when you consider what's been happening with the FANGs, especially last week, the disappointment in the market associated with their numbers, is the market leadership that so many of these tech stocks have represented, is that starting to come under question now? And is the value proposition and is the investment proposition better over here in China when you consider the likes of Baidu, Ali and Tencent?
Well, I definitely say from a value perspective, Chinese stocks are looking very cheap. But what's kind of overhanging them is this potential trade war. I think if you could see a lifting of that, I could see a big re-rating in terms of valuations. So right now, when you look at Alibaba, Baidu, they're not performing as well as the US tech companies. But look at Tencent. I mean, it's had a sizable fall since this so-called tariff noise has started. So to me, if a person is taking a slightly longer-term approach to the investment philosophy, this might be a great opportunity time to buy some of this.
And when you consider the earnings narrative, that's been a central pillar. Robust earnings has been a central feature of this late-stage bull market. Is that starting to come undone? Is that starting to come under question now? Because of trade, because of these tensions, because of the late-stage economic cycle that we're in? Concerns about peak growth, etc.
Yeah, I would say that, as we get closer and closer towards the year end, definitely people are going to start looking at 2019. A lot of things that cause some of the earnings boost, like tax cuts, stimulus, are going to kind of wear off. So definitely people are going to look at the growth rate of earnings next year, and it's definitely going to be much lower than this year. Then people are going to relate that to the valuations you're paying. So for cases where valuations may be stretched, you may see some pullbacks. In cases where there's value and because stocks have been underperforming, there might be a case for them to be bought. Yes, because the economy is still doing okay, earnings are still growing, but maybe not at the pace that you had expected.
But given the cost pressures and what we've been seeing consistently in the recent earnings season has been cost pressures, and that means margin erosion. That's going to be a cause of concern, though.
Well, definitely. I think if you are a multinational with a dollar that's strengthening, fact that commodity prices are going up, yeah, you're going to see some headwinds. But companies that basically sell services, they don't see those kind of headwinds. So you kind of got to differentiate and buy the right stocks. I think going forward is going to be more about stock selection rather than buying the market.
Active versus passive strategies.
Correct.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.